Is it better to hire a lawyer or is it okay to DIY? This is the first thing I'll say. I'm an eternal optimist. So I think that you can do anything you put your mind to. Okay? Like point blank period. So, can I do this application on my own? Sure you can. Here are the considerations that you should keep in mind, though, when we're talking about it.
Hey, everybody. It's Tammy Shiambade here, host of Ask Tammy Live, where we discuss the best ways to establish your business, protect your name, and keep your profits. Essentially, I am here to help you protect what you create. And in this particular episode, we are going to be tackling the questions in the comments. That's what we're going to do. There's a handful of questions y'all have for me. So let me go ahead and make sure we take care of them. The first question that I would like us to cover is, let's see what we have here. How much does it cost to trademark a slogan/catchphrase? And is it better to hire a lawyer or is it okay to DIY? Thank you. Oh my goodness, I love this question. All right, let's take care of the first one. How much does it cost to trademark a slogan or a catchphrase? A few weeks ago, I released a video on a similar topic where I was talking about the process. And so the cost for the trademark is going to vary depending on a couple of factors. One is the type of application that you choose. You can choose an application that has a lot of default language in it, or one where you have more flexibility. The one with more flexibility is more expensive, and it's the one I usually go with for my clients. So the filing fee for that is $350. The other one is $250. The other thing that will also impact how much it costs is whether you do what we call an intent to use application or an actual use application. And I have a video on it. I'll post a link to that video somewhere here. But essentially, if you have a trademark application for a catchphrase or slogan that you're already using and you have already used it in connection with a good or a service, right? You've already used it connecting something else, then the application fee that you pay is the $250 or $350. If you haven't started using it, you'll need to eventually provide proof that you're using that slogan with something that you're selling it with. So like if you're selling clothes, you'll need to prove that you're using that slogan with the sale of clothes. When you submit that eventual proof, if you're doing the second type of application, there's an additional fee associated with that. All of that is pending also on whether you have different classes. Classes are categories of goods and services for your trademarks, right? And so you want to make sure that you are putting things in the right class. And you could have multiple classes. You can have a class for, so there's over 40 that the United States Patent and Trademark Office have identified, 40 categories. Your slogan might be used to sell things in multiple categories. So if you put your slogan on t-shirts, that's the apparel category. If you have a podcast with the same name, that is another category, downloadable goods, right? Then let's say you have games associated with it. That's another category. All three of those are different categories and they would all have separate filing fees. So let's say you do the more comprehensive filing fee situation. You're already using it in commerce, but you want the application that gives you more flexibility, right? So you have one slogan and you're using it to sell a podcast, to sell clothes, and to sell kitchen goods, something like that. That's $350 times 3. Right? That's how much you would have to pay. And if you are hiring an attorney, you're going to have to do the fees that are associated with that. So when I take that on for clients, my fee starts at around $3,000, right? And the reason why I charge that much is because I'm taking on the entire burden. Unlike a lot of the different services that you might come across, I'm doing all the communication for you. I'm helping you prepare all the things. And that brings me to the second part of your question. Is it better to hire a lawyer or is it okay to DIY? This is the first thing I'll say. I'm an eternal optimist. So I think that you can do anything you put your mind to. Okay? Like point blank period. So, can I do this application on my own? Sure you can. Here are the considerations that you should keep in mind though, when we're talking about it. Number one, I think your real question is, can I do it successfully? And I would still say again, it's possible. However, you need to realize that you're not as well versed. And I'll say this too. I think it's taken me years to be able to, because I'm such an optimist, I'm like, I think you can navigate it. Like I tell people, I don't force anybody to be my client. My clients are people who value their time and they're like, you know what?
I don't have the time to try and figure this out. And so I love those types of clients because I'm like, yeah, let me handle that for you. But what I've also learned, right? Like aside from the clients who take time, it's that these things are complicated. I've had attorney friends make mistakes on these, and it's not because they're not smart. They're attorneys. Like this is nothing to do with the level of intelligence. This is a level of familiarity and time that is dedicated towards a specific thing. When it comes to navigating some of the nuanced rules of a trademark application, it can be difficult and it can be confusing. And some of the DIY resources or the online sites that say they will do it for you, I have seen what happens. I get calls all the time from people wanting me to take over, wanting me to fix a mistake, wanting me to respond to something that these companies fail to do, because this is what they don't tell you, or this is what they put in the fine print. These companies are not law firms. They are not supporting you. They will help you push the paper through. They will simplify the process. But when it comes down to the nitty-gritty legal work, they're nowhere to be found. It's confusing. I've seen it too many times. When I was a younger attorney, I was more, I didn't know that it was happening to people like this, right? Like, I was like, oh, maybe. But now, after you get all those calls, after you have so many people telling you it's a nightmare, like that's literally the language people say. People will come to me and they'll say, working with this company has been a nightmare. Tammy, can you help me check and make sure everything is okay? That is what happens. And I don't want that to be your case either. So, I mean, it's up to you at the end of the day. I have friends, people I'm very close to who like to DIY things. Have at it. Like, I'm not here to beg you. I'm just saying you're going to use more time of your time that you could be using on your business. And I can't point out what you don't know. Like, if I'm not there with you, there might be things that you completely misunderstand, and then you submit your application and you've sent them that money and they're not refunding it to you. You know, like those things really, 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 truly, sincerely do happen. I've seen it happen too many times. So that's to the DIY point. All right. This person said, can I conduct business while waiting for approval? And this comment came from a trademark video. So somebody was asking about whether they can continue to conduct business while they're waiting for their trademark application to go through. And the answer is absolutely yes. I mean, I can explain it, but the truth is you can conduct business. Here, I will say this as a caveat. Make sure you've done a full trademark registration search before you invest thousands of dollars into your mark. Because while you're conducting business, if you haven't done an actual search, and the search isn't submitting the application, it just means you understand what's out there. If you haven't done the search, there is a possibility that you're building your brand and someone else has already have higher rights to it because they did it first and you didn't know. Right? And I don't want that to happen to you. So make sure you search first. But can you conduct business while waiting for your trademark approval? Absolutely. I would just say before you start spending money trying to conduct business, make sure that the pathway is clear for you when it comes to getting your trademark fully registered. Nice, short and sweet. And our last question for today. What other states do you practice in? Honestly, I only practice in Texas, but trademark work is federal. So trademark and copyright, it doesn't matter what state I practice in. It's allowable in all 50 states. So if you live in Indiana and you want me to represent you when it comes to trademark work, I got you. If you have a copyright issue, I have you. The areas where I'm more nuanced is when it comes to specific business questions. Those ones I pay more attention to whether you have a connection to Texas. So if you're conducting your business in Texas, I got you. If you live in Texas, I got you, right? I said conducting business, live in Texas. Those are usually the big ones that allow us to do that. If you've purchased land or you're purchasing property in Texas, like those are the things that open me up so that if somebody, for example, lives somewhere else, but they have that connection, then I can represent them. So I wanted you to know those things. Now, I believe that is everything. I know this was a quick, short video, but I just wanted to hop on here and answer a few questions because, hey, this is Ask Tammy Live. Let me know what other questions you have. I love answering these questions. I love teaching. I love helping. And then if you want our checklist, I'll put a link for that below. If you want access to our resource hub, I'll put a link there below. And I think one other thing I want to let you know is that I'll be making some changes to the channel soon. So I have a lot of different types of content here. I'm going to be moving some of my other content onto another YouTube channel. So just FYI. That's all. Again, stay connected. My name's Tammy Shiambade. The handle is TOS Legal. That's the website. So go ahead there and find out more about what we do and find out if we can help you. And beyond that, that's all. I hope you have a great week. Bye.